All right, all right, all right. Welcome to another night of Dash of DFS. Sorry about the audio glitching, video glitch there at the beginning. My computer's kind of running slightly weird today, but what's going on? I got my man Rich with me. We got Coach out and we got Joe out this evening. So we just got just the two of us. So thank you, Rich, for hopping on in here. Even though you're a Raiders fan, I don't care what they say about you. You're an all right guy. How are you doing, Frito Bandito?
The Frito Bandito is doing great. Freaking excited for Thursday night game. See what kind of game we get tonight and everything. But hey, just excited going to this weekend and everything. Watching this game, and then watching my son's game tomorrow. So we're excited.
Nice. Yeah, you've been sharing a lot of the videos of your son's football games, and man, that kid is killing it, especially for as young as he is. Already becoming quite the impact player, it's looking like. So I bet you're one proud dad right there, man. That's cool.
I am, man, real proud right now.
That is awesome. Well, we'll just go ahead and get right down to action here. Make sure you're following us at toiletstotitles.com. There's some of the best articles, some of the best writers in the business right there, guys. You're going to want to get on our Patreon at Toilets to Titles as well. For $3 a month, gets you in our group chat on the Discord. And I'm telling you, that is where the action's at. Just ask our man Dustin, man. Dustin's in there every week. He's just chatting away, asking about trade advice, asking this, that, the other. It's been a really, really good time so far. I imagine it's going to continue to be a good time, especially the more and more people that we get in there, the more the football season progresses and everything like that. It's just always a blast. So $5 a month gets you that, plus it gets you entry into the Frankenstank League, which is one of the most brutal, fun leagues that you'll ever be a part of, but it's a really good time. So you definitely want to get in on that. And then the final one is $10, and that gets you basically one of us in your pocket at all times. This is really handy during a draft or something like that. When you guys are getting on there, we can help you out. Okay, and I think that's enough of the formalities. Make sure you like us, subscribe, hit likes, do all those things. Give us 5-star reviews. Give us all the 5-star reviews, especially if you're like bored right now. Go give us a 5-star review real quick. Okay, enough of all that. Rich, why don't you start out with who you're playing tonight?
So tonight, with Thursday night game and everything, I am taking Jamison Crowder. With Corey Davis being out, I think this is the second game he's out. Look, he's been the go-to receiver for the Jets. Last 4 games, after returning from his injury from the beginning of the season, he's had 30 targets. Last 4 games, 9. One game, 6, and then last week with 9, where he had 9 targets. Last week, 8 receptions for 84 yards. Touchdowns hasn't been there, but tonight could be a good opportunity to get some of those in there. And he's going to have an opportunity where Mike White is going to lean on him tonight in those clutch moments, and can easily have over 10 targets tonight.
Yep, I really like that pick right there. I think I see it happening quite a bit. And that brings up a question from Jeff here. He says, will we see Mike White, the same magic come out of him as we did last week? And I think this is a little bit of a more stiff defense that he's facing this week. I don't think it's going to be as magic. I think we can probably see a good 250 to 300 yards. But I think that's going to be mostly garbage time and playing from behind. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, look, if they're going to have any chance, it's going to be through him in the passing game and everything. Because if they do have if the Colts defense has a little weakness anywhere, it is in the passing attack. Their ground game is pretty good, but in the same token, it ain't that weak. So he's going to have the opportunity, but we'll see how it goes tonight. He definitely has a tougher matchup tonight.
Yep, absolutely agree with that as well. Like I said, I mean, I just don't think we're going to see that same 400 that we saw out of the guy the last time. So that is for sure. That brings us to our very, very first segment here, and that is one of my favorite ones. We got our man Gandalf in there just chiming in and telling you what we're going to be doing and who we're going to be fading this week. The guys who we're not playing, Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill. I know I see a lot of experts out there telling you to roll these guys out. I am not going to be that expert. I'm going to tell you to fade these guys. I think we need to see what's happening out there. I think Trevor Siemian is the guy that they're going to be starting out with. I think they're going to use Taysom Hill probably for gadget plays, just the same way that they were doing it before. The thing I don't like about that is that Siemian is terrible. He's not a good quarterback. I watched him for a couple of years on the Broncos. Those were very, very bad years. They were very not fun. He is terrible. Do not play Trevor Siemian. Do not play Taysom Hill. Those guys are both going to get you slaughtered if you decide to do that. And then my other guy is Patrick Mahomes versus Green Bay. And who knew I was ever going to say anything like that? He's 8,500 on FanDuel. I've just seen enough. This guy has got to get his bearings back, and he's starting to look like a high school football player just out there trying to make something happen as hard as he can by sideballing, throwing the ball as hard as he can, trying to do all these things that made him great. But nobody's really helping him out on the other end of the ball. Like, he's getting a lot of guys whipping it off their masks and stuff like that, off their hands. That's where a lot of his turnovers are coming from. So, but he's a hard fade for me until further notice. Our coaches, since he's not here again tonight, he left his notes in there. His non-quarterback fades of the week is Michael Carter at Indianapolis tonight, 5,300. He said he led all running backs last week with 31 PPR points. Says, don't take that bait. He says Colts defense just held Derrick Henry to 28 yards, 68 in the air, and they've allowed the fourth fewest points to the running backs this season. This is not the matchup you were looking for. And I know when he says that, he's thinking about those droids. These are not the droids you're looking for. This is not the matchup you are looking for. I like Michael Carter tonight, but that's beside the point. I think Michael Carter is actually a fine play. I think he's a volume play, especially when they have one of their favorite targets out of the game. And his other guy is Mark Andrews at Minnesota, $5,500. He says the Vikings defense held the Cowboys TEs to 2 for 11 last week. To this point, they've held tight ends to 24 catches for 327 yards. No touchdowns yet. I don't like this matchup for Andrews, and he's avoiding him in all DFS lineups. And in that one, I somewhat kind of agree. I'm kind of fading the Baltimore Ravens as well. Now, guys that we're going to be paying up for is we got coaches going with Matthew Stafford versus Tennessee at 7,700. He says Tennessee will be reeling with Derrick Henry out, and they'll be reeling. And while they're reeling, the Rams passing attack just keeps getting hotter. Fire up Matt Stafford in the 28th ranked passing defense and prosper. And then his other guys, Dalvin Cook at Baltimore at 7,700. He said last week Dalvin Cook had one of his worst performances of the season, and I'm expecting him to bounce back in a big way against the Ravens. That allowed Samaje Perine to hit them for 11 and 52 in their last outing. My guys are Austin Eckler at Philadelphia for 9,000. Dude, Austin Eckler's been tearing it up. I love watching that guy score touchdowns, especially for fantasy purposes. I'm getting that guy anywhere I can, squeezing him in where I can. And then I've got Jamar Chase versus Cleveland at 7,900. I'm not stopping getting this guy in either, and especially with Kupp not on the main slate this week, because I love getting Kupp on there. I don't care how much Kupp is, and it's well worth the medium price of 7,900 that he's still somehow getting, which is way cheap. Rich, who do you got this week?
Well, I am actually going with Cooper Kupp. He's a man. I'm going to pay all up for him and everything. Now, this is through DraftKings, 9,400. Just like Coach said above, Matt Stafford and the Rams passing attack, they continue to be on fire, and leading that passing attack is Cooper Kupp. Basically, leading the NFL in all receiving categories. Kupp is definitely the player that I will keep paying up on, as he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. The Titans are ranked 28th in passing yards and attempts, so Kupp and Woods should face this weekend.
That is a good pick right there. I feel like both those guys could actually hit you pretty decent in your DFS lineup. You can play both of those guys. The next segment here is another fun segment. It's the riding the wave segment. And so guys that we're riding the wave on now, see, we got to get to the surf mode too. Yep, we got Jonathan Taylor versus the Jets. That's tonight, 7,900. Says Taylor has had 7 touchdowns in his last 5 games, and in that time frame, he's a PPR running back 1. This week, he faces the worst defense in the NFL. You have to play him. And I completely agree with that take right there, because I feel like he's going to go off. As a matter of fact, that's the guy who I've got in my captain's chair tonight, even though I do feel like the Jets can accidentally win this game. Bounce back players from last week. I've got Darren Waller coming back. Now, see, Rich, you're going to like me today.
I like this. I like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I'm all about the Raiders this week, man. And I hate to say it out loud as the number 1 Broncos fan, but right now I'm in a very F Broncos kind of a mood, man. When they traded Von Miller, they traded a piece of my heart, Rich. A little piece of my heart went with Von Miller. And so I'm not over that. And so I'm picking Raiders this week because, yeah, take that, Denver. But
So
Darren Waller,
question.
what's that?
So that number one finger, did the finger change from this one to maybe something else?
Yeah, it did. It did for a couple of days, anyways. It was the wrong finger for a minute there because I couldn't believe they just gave him away. I'm sure the rest of the NFL was thinking the same thing. Like, man, I wish we could have gotten him for a song and a dance like we did. We got Jeff saying Jordan Love is only 6,000 on FanDuel. Is he worth the rollout or the value play against them? Oh, I can't really see that. Or the awful KC against the awful KC defense. So we think Jordan Love is good to go against the KC defense?
I think he is and everything. I just think there's other options that you might want to take advantage of. Look, I get it. He's playing against Kansas City, and he is something that kind of leads into my bounce back player of the week with Travis Kelce. Look, Packers defense is ranked middle of the pack against opposing tight ends. Kelce's had a down week last week against the Giants, and Mahomes will make every attempt to keep Kelce involved in this game to control that middle of that field. Rodgers not playing this week due to COVID. Hence, Jordan Love is going to be playing and everything. And I still think he's going to have a good game and everything. It just, what have we really seen from Jordan Love? We don't know yet and everything. So that's what kind of scary about it. He is getting Devontae Adams back this week and everything. So I just don't know if I want to put him in my DFS lineups when there's other options out there.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me too. I gotta fade the guy. As much as I love Jordan Love, I think he's going to be a great quarterback. I just don't know that he's going to be out there and be fully capable. I mean, I might flex him or something, not flex him, but super flex him in a situation or something like that in my regular lineup. And in my DFS, I'm probably a full fade. That brings me back down to the players that are bouncing back and me with Darren Waller at the Giants. Love picking on the Giants for starters. And Darren Waller's been quiet. He's been hurt. Now this whole team is playing with their hearts on their sleeves.
Yes.
After that Ruggs incident, man, they're going to be playing with some passion out there. I anticipate Carr and Waller to connect for some big numbers this weekend, and I'm starting both of those guys. Coaches, the Jerry Jeudy at Dallas for 5,000. He said Jeudy had 4 receptions for 39 yards in his return to action last week. Said this week he has a few things going for him that should help him bounce back. The Broncos will have to throw to keep up with Dallas, and Ditch will be spending a lot more time shadowing Cortland Sutton, maybe even coming in on Albert Wabenham. I always have a tough time with
nice try.
Name. Right. Albert O. We'll just go with that.
There you go.
Who do you got this week, Rich?
Like I said, my bounce back player of the week is Travis Kelce. I just think he's going to get involved this week and everything. Look, the only thing kind of scares me about it is the Packers defense is pretty good. But like I said, they're ranked in the middle of the pack against opposing tight ends. Look, if Jordan Love does go off against that bad defense and everything, look, Chiefs are going to have to throw and stuff like that. And Mahomes is going to have to get Kelce involved in everything. I just looked him to really focus hard on him. Look, Hill's been getting his targets and everything. So I think he's going to try to really focus on Kelce this week.
I like it. I like it a lot. Now, who's your diamond in the rough this week? Who's your low ownership plays you got out there?
Mine is Zay Jones. With everything going on with the loss of Ruggs this week, Jones has the opportunity to place his footprint within this Raiders offense this weekend for the rest of the season. Jones has come up big already this year in limited playing time with the game-clinching tutty against the Ravens when we saw the beginning of the season. And 2 weeks ago, he had a huge catch for a first down as he reeled in a 20-plus yard catch on a key third down reception and everything. Look, that alone, those two show that Carr trusts him. And I think he's going to be the player that steps in with Ruggs being out to really kind of take that place, that's a position that they need there.
Absolutely can't argue with that. That's another really good play for me. Zay Jones, I do like I said, I like everything Raiders, and that's going to go ahead and bring us into our the lineups that we're playing this week. And like I said, I'm pretty high on everything I'm seeing out of Las Vegas right now. I really think that they might be the divisional winners this year, especially if they keep playing their cards right and the way they're playing football. So that's why I'm starting out Carr with at New York for $7,500. I don't think you can beat that. I think he's going to at least get 300, probably throw for 3 touchdowns. I got Austin Eckler at Philadelphia for $9,000. I really like Eckler. I already said that. And then I got Boston Scott. I know we're points chasing here, and I know the Raiders got a tough defense, but I think that they're going to be playing from a deficit, the Eagles, that is, and I feel like in that deficit, they're going to have to throw it to to Boston Scott a little bit more. I got Chase versus Cleveland. I think that's a no-brainer. I love Chase. I got Judy at Dallas because I agree with Coach. I got Marquez Callaway versus Atlanta. Atlanta has been shutting people down, but I think Callaway is going to get the volume. Whoever's throwing in the ball. And then I got my Waller stack for Carr right there at the tight end position. DJ Moore versus New England at 7,100. And then Cowboys versus Denver's at 3,900. And then the coach on DraftKings has Stafford versus Denver at 7,700, which is a great move. He's got Taylor tonight versus the Jets at 79. Dalvin Cook at Baltimore for 7,700, which is a great play. Jerry Jeudy at Dallas for $5,000. Hunter Renfrow at New York for 4,800. Elijah Moore at Indianapolis tonight also, or not tonight, sorry, this weekend at 4,200. I think that is tonight. Yes, that is tonight. Yeah, sorry. Jaceki versus Houston at 4,900. That's another great move. He also has Boston Scott playing up again this week. I thought he was playing the Raiders for some reason.
No, it's the Chargers. They played the Eagles 2 weeks ago.
That's right. That's right. Well, still versus the Chargers, I still think they're going to be playing at a deficit. And then he's got Panthers defense versus New England. Who do you got there, Rich?
Yeah, look, we all three of us have a couple players that we're all picking, but look, I'm starting out with Matt Stafford versus the Broncos at 7,700. I also am taking Boston Scott at 5,200, and I'm taking Mark Ingram at that low value at 4,600. With him being there at the Saints and that quarterback situation going on, and everything. I see them pounding the ground with Ingram and Kamara and everything. So I'm going to go take that hit that maybe he gets in there for a few touchdowns and gets that value right there. Like I said, look, I'm paying up for Cooper Kupp. I'm going to stack him with Matt Stafford and everything for this week. I like Jerry Jeudy just like you guys at 5,000. And here's where I'm going a little cheap. I'm plugging in Zay Jones this week at 3,000 and everything. So I could get that Cooper Kupp, that Stafford stack. And also in the flex, I'm picking up Aaron Jones at 7,200 when they're going to be playing against the Chiefs. With Love playing there and stuff like that, they're going to utilize Jones in the passing attack and on the ground and everything. So I look to him to have a big game against that defense. My tight end, I do have Dallas Goedert against the Chargers at 4,500. And I am picking the Raiders versus the Giants on defense at 2,900.
That is a great slate right there. Yeah, we definitely had a few overlappers there, especially with Boston Scott. We all had him in our lineup. You and Coach loving some Stafford this week, and I cannot blame anybody for getting Cooper Kupp in their lineup. Like I said, he wasn't on the FanDuel main slate, so I wasn't able to. Jeff says, who would you start, DJ Moore against New England or Cordarrelle Patterson against New Orleans?
Man, my concern here is I love Cordarrelle Patterson and everything, but look, they're going to everybody knows he's been the man there and everything, getting on the running game and the receiving game. With Ridley out, look, they'll focus on Pitts, but I think this is a game, too, where they try to shut him down. If you shut down Cordarrelle Patterson, you're basically leaving just Pitts, and there ain't nobody else there really to go to and everything. So I'm a little bit worried about playing Cordarrelle Patterson. So in that situation, I'm going DJ Moore. Look, I think DJ Moore is one of those players that's going to have a bounce back game this week, even against the New England defense. They are stacked and everything, but I think they're going to focus on DJ Moore, and I prefer DJ Moore over Patterson.
Yep, same here. I feel like Patterson. I feel like I got the same question wrong last week, but this week I still feel the same exact way. I mean, Patterson is good, but he's really good about missing productivity. He just doesn't seem to have that X factor to get him up to that next level. And this year he's been displaying some just wicked awesome player advancements and things like that, things we didn't see. But DJ Moore is just a legendary elite player. He's very, very good at football. Darnold, he can't just keep being bad. I think, and even if they have Walker out there, I like DJ Moore either way. So, I mean, I like DJ Moore. Like I said, I'm playing him. That's my flex this week in DFS. So I'm starting DJ Moore over Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yep. 100.
Rich, man, we wiped this show out faster than we've ever done the dash of DFS. I mean, that was a dash of DFS, which will be okay because it'll give us a couple more extra minutes to set our lineups. I appreciate you showing up, especially with such short notice and everything like that. I know Joe Joe wasn't on tonight, and that kind of came as a shocker to me and then Coach too. But I guess they talked about it last week where I wasn't on, so definitely was a shocker for me. But he was definitely missed, but not so bad because I got to at least spend some time with my man over here, the Frito Bandito. Make sure you guys get on there, follow this guy on Twitter. He's awesome. It's Rich. Classic Rich, as I like to call you. Because that's two of my settings on my coffee cup thing. I can either have classic or I can have it rich. And so I light it up classic, then I light it up rich. And I'm like, classic rich every single time. Make sure you get on toiletstotitles.com. Some of the best articles you'll ever read right there. Our man Eric laying it down for you. Everybody also get on that Patreon. You're going to want to get on that Discord chat that we've been having. Pay the $10. What's $10? That's like 2 cups of coffee a month right there. Pay that $10. Get us in your pocket. You can talk to us anytime you guys want. You're going to want to do that. And if you're not going to at least do that, get on there, throw us a 5-star review. Rich, thank you for joining me once again this evening. And thank you for everybody here at Toilets to Titles. Kick ass. Let's make some money. Let's everybody eat this week.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Trying to get this thing to pull up. I'm telling you what,